What's going on, AZ Sports fan family? Thank you so very much for tuning back in. I really do appreciate it. Now, in this video, I wanted to go ahead and talk about the latest tweet that our boy DeAndre Hopkins has just put out a few hours ago. Basically, what he just said, and I'm a very bad person in quoting anybody, so I'll put it right here. But basically, to recap, and what he's saying is that if he were to get an option to renegotiate his contract, to bring in superstar wide receiver Julio Jones, would he do it? He just gave us a thumbs up, boys. Is this a real possibility for our Arizona Cardinals? That's what we're going to dive into today, guys. Let's go ahead and roll that intro. Guys, welcome back in. Now, like I mentioned in the intro, today what I want to specifically talk about is DeAndre Hopkins' tweet that he posted earlier today, basically recapping, saying that if he were to have to renegotiate his, his deal with the Arizona Cardinals to make room for Julio Jones, he would do it in a heartbeat. Pretty much what he said. So it's absolutely crazy, the world that we're living in right now, where, players are recruiting other players to come to, play with them and try to build a super team. It's absolutely nuts because these superstar players really have a bigger voice than, they used to have, 4 or 5 years ago, where it was, frowned upon by, upper management saying, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. But we have big star players, advocating for other players to come in to play with the Arizona Cardinals. So it's absolutely crazy, the world we're living in. It's like Madden, like all over again. So it's absolutely nuts. Now let's talk a little bit about Julio Jones here, guys. If you guys did not know, Julio Jones was a part of like these big trade speculations saying that he's going to get traded for, some draft capital in this last draft. Now, obviously, that didn't happen, but now the rumors are saying that he can very well be moved after June 1st. Now, if you're asking why June 1st, basically, after June 1st, there's this less of a cap hit that happens. So it would be cheaper for the Atlanta Falcons to move on from him after that date. So a lot of teams have their eyes peeled. A lot of, fans are really waiting to see who will land Julio Jones. Now, DeAndre Hopkins is definitely doing everything in his power to bring the superstar wide receiver to play opposite side of him. Now, if you're going to ask me right now, do I think this is going to happen? I honestly don't. Now, I've been surprised a lot of times. Like, a lot of trades have really thrown me through a loop. So it would be really crazy to see, but it's definitely something where it can very well happen. But do I think it's going to happen for the Arizona Cardinals? That's the question. I don't think it's going to happen for the Arizona Cardinals, and the reason why is because we just picked up AJ Green. Now, granted, he's only on a 1-year deal, and I really do think if you're going to put a poll out there and asking who would you rather have, Julio Jones or AJ Green, more people will say Julio Jones over AJ Green. I think it's pretty obvious that would be the answer. Now, there's a few different things that kind of go alongside with both players. Both of them are veteran, superstar players. Julio Jones might be more at this point in his career over AJ Green, but they both have injury concerns. And that's the biggest, scares for me moving forward. Now, Julio Jones doesn't need to be a number one, but darn it to heck to say that he won't want to be that number one, and DeAndre Hopkins is a number one. Now, I do think that this is not really going to cause, any big, problems or anything like that. I think Julio Jones and, DeAndre Hopkins can definitely coincide with each other, and as long as they both get their yards, as long as they both get their touchdowns, I think they'll be fine. But I don't think this is going to happen because we did pay AJ Green on a 1-year deal. Now, if he gets hurt, that's a different story. We can maybe look into doing a trade deadline and maybe in the season, maybe trade for Julio Jones. Hopefully he would still be available. He probably wouldn't be, but that would be my really only concern here, is that I don't think we're going to get Julio Jones because we got AJ Green. And we already pretty much slotted him as a number 2 wide receiver, and then, Christian Kirk being in the slot is basically where I see this playing out. Now, do I want Julio Jones? That's the next question here. Yeah, I mean, that would be really cool. I think if we lived in a world where we had players being able to, restructure their contract because they want to build that super team, because they want to get a ring, why not? And if it works out financially, and if it doesn't put us in a hole drastically, then I'm all up on board with it. I mean, I've been telling you guys up and down that this right here, what we have is a 2-year window. If we don't win the Super Bowl, a lot of people will really be disappointed, especially because we have Kyler Murray under rookie year. We have DeAndre Hopkins, arguably probably one of the best wide receivers in all of football. Our running back core right now is looking pretty decent. James Conner, hopefully he can revive his career as a running back, but we also have Chase Edmonds, which is a great playmaker out of the backfield, catching the ball, and a possibility of other, running backs to really kind of join that, running back by committee type of thing. So we'll see exactly what happens with the Arizona Cardinals, but I wanted to kind of bring this to our attention because yes, I honestly would love the idea of bringing Julio Jones in here, but I'm not going to really hang my hat on it too much. I don't think it's really a possibility for the Arizona Cardinals. Do I think Julio Jones is going to be moved on away from the Atlanta Falcons? Yes. I do think he's going to be traded away. Do I think he's going to land with the Arizona Cardinals? I don't. I really don't think so. Now, I think it's amazing that, DeAndre Hopkins is offering to restructure his contract. I'm not going to go ahead and put too much weight into it, guys, but let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think it's a real big possibility for the Arizona Cardinals to possibly get a Julio Jones, trading away some draft capital and really seeing if we can make our wide receiving core that much better? Let me know everything in the comments below, guys. Like always, like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that different stuff, guys. Thank you so very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.